Going to be a quick video tutorial of what we're doing with our remote app and remote desktop. This is the new virtual machine that I've created for this purpose. It's called AMA RDS1, and it's running Windows Server 08. I just made it with an 80 gig hard drive for this test, and I added the roles for remote desktop services, remote app. We have the remote app manager that shows these published applications. We've got the remote desktop connection manager. This is the brokerage service that will allow us, when you connect, I will show you when you connect to the RD Web website, can actually broker a connection to another desktop inside the firewall. Gateway manager, it's doing the same thing. It's managing this server. Sessions manager, this is where I set up the default RDP sessions and what we allow people to connect to and how the licensing is carried out. Right now we don't have a licensing server because we're still operating in a trial mode. And then we have the remote desktops manager. This is where you can interact with sessions when somebody connects. I've got a disconnected session right there. But if someone connects with the standard RDP desktop, which you can do, this AMA RDS1.yellowhouse.local, I can connect to this like normal, like we would typically do. And there's that email signature issue. But as you can see, I have a full desktop with all of the applications installed. Time clocks on here, Office is on here. But I get the full desktop environment. And while this is handy for users who need a full desktop environment, sometimes they just need the applications themselves, and that's what you can do in Citrix, but that's also what we can do in RemoteApp. So I'm going to log off here, and I'm going to get rid of the server for right now. So now from in-house, if you just go to https://amarilrds1.yellowhouse.local/rdweb, you don't even need the rest of this. It will bring up this page by default. And you can also now go to portal.yellowhouse.us/rdweb and get in also, because I've opened that file in the firewall, and that made where that should go. So as you can see, portal.yellowhouse.us resolves to 12.205.235.240. So you should be able to get in from outside, get to this screen. So now I'm going to log into this screen with my Windows credentials. And I'm presented with these published applications. Now, I am in a group that all these applications have been published for everyone. So these are the individual applications, and then I published a full-blown desktop. So even without running my remote desktop client, I can click on this, and it launches and logs me in directly, very quickly. And this is just an ActiveX control. I didn't have to run my desktop client. But here I can also run, let's say I wanted to run Microsoft Excel. Now see down at the bottom here, this Excel icon looks strange, but it lets me know that I can run this full-blown Excel, but it is not running on my machine. It's running as a remote app off the server. Same thing for Host Explorer. I can run it and connect to main Unix, but it's running inside of here, all through this web-enabled screen. Now here's a cool thing I was showing Tracy. This is the remote desktop brokerage service, which means I could come in through a secured website from the outside with no VPN, hit this screen if it's published to my user account, and then hit another machine on the inside. Just for grins, let's try AMA V400 data RM, and see if it's turned on. This is a Windows Vista Ultimate machine that used to be in the data room. It's the one that we were letting Tanner use. It's not that fast of a machine, so it's going to take me a second to get logged in. But you heard that sound. I'm getting sound through the RDP connection. And that's my Windows desktop. And so this is really designed so that you can allow users to access their own desktop computer through a portal without a VPN securely from their home. And in this configuration, of course, this part would not be available. But back on this screen where I've got the remote apps, JDIS is concerned that we don't run all these applications on the same server that we run Equip. So what I propose is, because these applications on the back side, whenever we set this up, right now, my remote apps, I assign these things in here. Remote app sources is coming from this server. But I can add multiple servers in here. So I can have one server that's running Equip, one server that's running PM Pro, one server that's running whatever. And I can serve up those applications from different servers in my farm, and they will appear to the user based on what groups they're in on that user's dashboard. So whenever they hit the website, they come here. In this scenario, we don't have to load any software on the endpoint whatsoever. They're just going to launch all this stuff from a browser. And so that can be pretty handy. And then as far as software upgrades, we just upgrade it on the server because these shortcuts are already published. So that's one way we can go about it. The other we still have the option of running the RDP client and giving them a full desktop, or giving them a full desktop here. But this is what Citrix used to do. If you want to see a Citrix receiver, which is the software they use, Citrix receiver, let me look for an image. Okay. So Citrix receiver, you get a web-based login, similar, and then it groups your applications. Now that's not wildly different from this, except it's using the Citrix application, so it looks a little cooler. And you get the same interface on your iPhone. I'm going to pause this and recording screencast and see if I can turn on my webcam. Hang on just a second. Okay, I got the webcam on, and it's not that great. I was going to try to show you this on my iPhone. I don't even know if you can see that. But this is the RD Client app. That little orange app right there. From the App Store. Basically, whenever I configure my remote resources with the RD Web URL, I'll find my webcam. With that RD Web URL, you are now able to access individual applications on that phone. For instance, on-screen time clock. Where is it? That's right there. I can launch this little guy. There you go. I got clock in and clock out right there on my phone, which I think is pretty cool. You get mouse control and tap just like you were clicking on a regular mouse. You know, I wish there was a way to make this screen, my webcam screen, bigger, but I guess it's not. Anyway, I've never used this screen capture software. But now that you have the URLs, you can try the remote app, and we're open through the firewall, so you can test it out. You can run Host Explorer off your phone. You can run full-blown Outlook, Word, Excel. I mean, I can launch Outlook right here. Oops. First time, because it's a new server, it's got to go through and set my account. So it will auto-configure all of my settings. And there you go. That's full-blown Outlook right there on my phone. I don't know. I think that's pretty crazy. And you get this. You get the pinch and zoom functions and features, and then whenever you close out an app, it just closes out your session. So that's all I was going to show you right now. That's what we were going to try to have our little conference call about. And since we didn't get a chance to do that, I wanted to catch you guys up this way. So I'm out for the weekend. Talk to you later.